at least for the day. I think that's the last one. And you all are more than welcome to join. You can go to unlockinggreatness.com to sign up and be a part of that. I am so, first of all, let me give the subject matter for this little 10-minute live. The subject matter is it's time. It is time that we put aside all of the distractions that have been going on in our lives, all of the distractions, everything that's been holding us back, every mindset that's been holding us back, focusing on results, situations going on in our lives. It is time. And you all just say it's time if you're with me on this. It is time. It is past time, my brothers and sisters, that you put all of those distractions aside and you begin to move forward. I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity today to talk to so many people who joined my live training sessions that I did earlier today. It was really wonderful meeting them, and some of the people that were on the lives have already joined the Unlocking Greatness community. Just literally talking to them and seeing the tears in their eyes and seeing the revelation. I do like this little training session with them so that they can experience seeing what's on the other side of the mountain. And just being in that session with this, and I'm talking about people from all around the world, different parts of the world were on this live with me. I've done 2 so far earlier today, but just seeing, I can't even explain it, but just seeing them sort of come alive. You can see the smiles on their faces when they begin to see, you mean all this time I've been traveling around the same doggone mountain? All this time I've been thinking that I'm limited in a particular area. All this time I've been listening to a lie. All this time I'm sitting here thinking I'm actually doing pretty good. All this time I've been allowing myself to allow my circumstances to stop me or to slow me down. All this time, I've been seeing things the wrong way and I didn't even know it. That's some of the things that people came to know after they had the live session today. And by the way, I'm having one more live session today at 3:30. I was going to try to have one this evening as well, but I think 3 is enough for one day. So I'm having another one in about 10 minutes. You all can go to unlockinggreatness.com and join me on that live session. But it's like about a 25, 30-minute session where I walk through this training. But it encouraged me so much to see people come to the revelation that, wait a minute, this is where I'm supposed to be. Why in the world am I spending so much time allowing myself to be distracted? Especially for business owners. We had some entrepreneurs that was in there today. And they're like, well, now I see. Sometimes, here's the deal. Sometimes you can get so caught up in your world, what you see. Thank you for the hearts, baby. Sometimes you can get so caught up. Someone says, is this for new members? Yes, this is just for the new members, Tasha. I'll be seeing you at our regular live sessions. This is just for the new people who are considering joining Unlocking Greatness. And it was so great meeting them today. Sometimes you all can get so caught up in just your little world. And I mean that with respect when I say your little world. But you can get so caught up in what seems so doggone real, right? Like the problems really seem real. And the circumstances seem real, like you can really justify it. So many times we're not aware outside of that. And that's why we need each other. Outside of that, when you're able to step out of that and look at it through the eyes of God, and when you're able to see, wait a minute, you mean all this time I thought I was waiting on something external to have to change? I thought that this situation can't change, or things won't get better, or I don't know how things can get better. You mean telling me all this time the answers were right here? All this time. So I want to hear you all say it's time. And here's what I want to encourage you all with really quickly. There's a passage I want you all to turn to. There's a passage in Hebrews 12, verse 2. It says, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And there's another one in Proverbs I want you all to turn to. And the one in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 25 says, let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do you all know how much time we spend looking backwards? And especially for those of you all who are closer to my age range, right? In your 50s and 60s and 70s, right? You all know how much time we spend looking backwards, wondering either what did we do with our lives, or what is the next stage? What are we supposed to be doing? Or how am I going to fix this situation? You all, it's time that you give yourself permission to go higher. Not only in the way that you think. Hey, Denise, I see you all in here. Hey, Lamont. Not only in the way that you think, but in the way that you show up. I pray to God that this is the day, especially for those of you all who've not joined any of my live training sessions that I conduct. I pray to God that this is the day your eyes become open. Now, by the grace of God, the people that already joined the live training sessions I did early today, I'm so grateful. I'm humbled. I'm humbled by the feedback that they were giving me, saying, Z, this has been so incredibly helpful. I had just no idea how I was processing and even looking at my circumstances and the way that I show up. So I pray to God for those of you all who join me in this training session, and it starts in about 7 or 8 minutes. I pray to God you walk away with the same thing. Now, let me go over John chapter, and for those of you who are wondering how to sign up, you can just go to my website, unlockinggreatness.com, and should be a link on my homepage. Some of you all have already signed up by registering, but now you can just go to my homepage and just sign in. You all turn to John chapter 5 again. For those who were not with me earlier today, I've been talking about John chapter 5 all day, by the way. John chapter 5 is the guy that was at the well for like the swimming pool. Well, you can call it a swimming pool. Forget I said the word swimming. He was at the pool for about 38 years. And I talked earlier about how when Jesus came to him, Jesus saw that, the guy had been there a long time. And I love that Jesus said to him, do you want to get well? Good evening, Alicia. Good to see you, baby. Jesus said, do you want to get well? And for those of you who were not with me earlier on the live, when Jesus said, do you want to get well? He said, do you want to get, in other words, you've been in the same circumstance. You've been traveling around the same mountain all these years. Do you want to get well? That's literally what Jesus said to him. And I love that the guy responded, and I said this earlier in my live. The guy was responding by telling Jesus basically the circumstance, the situation. You all, we do the same thing at times in life, am I right? He responded by telling him what was wrong. He said, every time the water is moved or whatever he said, I'll say, he says, I have no one to help me into the pool whenever the water is stirred. So he just goes on talking about he's trying to get in, but every time he tries to get in, everybody's getting in his way. So you see how he's focused on just the circumstance and what's going wrong? He's basically giving Jesus the excuses or the reasons why I've not moved on from this mountain. And I want you all to be thinking right now as you're listening to me on this live, what mountain, I want to see who's bold enough to answer this question. What mountain have you not moved on from? What mountain have you not moved on from? What mountain have you been standing at for years? It could be days, it could be weeks or months, but what mountain have you been standing at for years? Has it been the same mountain with how you show up and respond to situations? Has it been the same financial mountain? Has it been the same mountain in your business? Has it been the same mountain in your personal life? What mountain? Has it been distractions? That's a big one. What mountain have you been at this entire time and you've not moved on? So I love that Jesus came to him when the guy is talking about all the problems, and you guys, let me just be the first to say I've done this many times myself. Right? Focusing on the circumstance. This guy's talking about the water. Whenever the pool water is stirred, nobody's getting me in, nobody's helping me. And I just love that Jesus just simply turned to him. I just love what Jesus said. He simply turned to him in John chapter 5 and verse 8, and he just says, get up. Just says, oh yes. Takesha says, people pleasing. Takesha, I hope to see you in a few minutes when we have our meeting. We're definitely going to talk about that one. Jesus says to him, get up. He literally just said, he didn't even address all of the circumstances. Jay says, I'm moving now. Jesus just says, get up. He says, pick up your mat and walk. And that's the basis of what this training session I'm doing today on. This training session is all on, are you really ready to pick up your mat and begin walking and moving forward? And what does that look like? He says, pick up your mat and walk. In other words, he's telling him, do you not even understand and recognize who you are? I just had an amazing training session with someone. Bless her heart. My God, I really love her a lot. She's just such an amazing anointed person. I can just tell just from talking to her. And so when I look at people that are going through things, especially those that are just like, it's so obvious that there's a calling on their life, I look with such a smile inside of my spirit. And I just think, man, my dear sister, it's time to just pick up your mat and begin walking in that anointing and in that gift that God has given you. So that's what we're going to talk about. Marcia says fear. Anyone else? What is the main thing that has been holding you back? What mountain have you continued to circle around again and again and again? What is that mountain you've been circling around? Someone else says fear. That's a big one. When we have this session that we're about to have in the next few minutes, for those of you who've not joined me yet, I'll just say this, because this is the third one I would be conducting for the day. And based on the feedback I've gotten from the other members, and this is another thing I'll say real quickly, at the end of the training sessions, I love, and it's only the grace of God, you guys, it's not me. I'm only teaching and giving what God has shared for me to give. I love seeing the smile on their faces of the people that attend these sessions at the end of it when we're done. They come in one way, and then by the time the session's over, especially when we do both parts of the exercise that I'm going to be doing with them, I love seeing the smile on their faces because it's as if a light bulb moment happened. You all just know what I'm talking about for those who are joining the session. It's as if a light bulb moment went off and they begin to see for the first time, you mean telling me all this time I had a choice to pick up my mat and walk? Somebody says backwards to doubt. Forward moving. If you are going to be joining us on this session today, I pray that you be in there. This is the day I pray to God that chain is broken. God released to me this morning before I even left out of the house, there's going to be bondages and chains that are broken today. I wasn't even supposed to have been doing these training sessions throughout the day, you all. I have a packed schedule, and that is the God honest truth with all the things I have going on, plus an event that I'm planning and some other things happening. And God just placed in my heart, this is the day bondages are going to be broken. I said, God, what does that mean? What does that look like? Somebody just says, not good enough. Baby, please get in this training session with me that we're about to have. This is the day you all are going to stop believing the lies from the enemy, and your eyes are going to be open. You're going to recognize, who am I really, and what does that look like? How do I pick up my mat and walk? Okay, Z, so you're doing all this talk about picking up your mat and walk. What exactly am I supposed to be doing? And that's something that we're going to be talking about. And I'm not actually going to be the ones giving you the answers, believe it or not. I don't want to give it away, but for those of you who've been through the training, you guys already know what we're about to do. You all, it's time that you pick up your mat and start walking. No more fears, no more self-doubts, especially for all of you who are entrepreneurs and who are coaches, because I have a lot of you all inside of, that are members in the Unlocking Greatness community. No more over-planning. Don't nobody care about your website being perfect and this and that being perfect. No. No more over-planning. No more overthinking. No more wondering, and this is something I've seen a lot of people say recently. Man, I wonder, did I really hear from God in the first place? I don't understand. Literally, somebody just said this inside of the training session I just had. He said, I don't understand. Why is there just so much setback, so many things happening at one time? I don't understand. If I'm trying to follow and do what God is calling me to do, where is all of this coming from? Oh, we're going to have a talk about that. We're going to walk through this in this training session. Someone says, I would love to get in your training session. So I need to get my butt off of here because it's getting ready to start. I love you all. I want you all to make a decision today. It is time. I have traveled around this same mountain, in other words, the same thought pattern, way too long. I have got to make a decision to start doing something differently because time is extremely important, and we all have a limited amount of it. So I want to challenge you all, for those of you who are watching me on this live right now, if you are going through the same experiences or you've been traveling around the same mountain, someone says, while I question sometimes what if I'm passionate about is what God has called me to do. I hope that you are getting on this live with me right now. I really do, because this is literally the conversations I've been having throughout the day with people who are on the live. If you've been traveling around the same mountain, and in any way, any area in your life, whether it's personal development or entrepreneurship, and you're not getting the results that you were hoping for, looking for, in whatever area in your life you feel like I've been traveling around the same mountain, something's got to change. I challenge you all to take about 20 minutes to work on you right now. That's my challenge for you all. Some of you all on this live just watching just to be watching. I want you, for those of you who are just sort of watching, right, who never comment or never whatever, I want you to be thinking about your life right now. What areas are you growing in? And what are the areas that are challenging for you that's remain unchanged? What are you looking to work on and do differently? It's time to stop traveling around the same mountain. So I challenge you, spend 20 minutes just to work on you. And if the training don't help you, that's fine. So far, by the grace of God, people have said, Z, my goodness, this was so incredibly helpful for me. I thank God that you walked in obedience and you're doing this. But I pray to God that chains are broken and that today is the day you guys begin to make some major difference, some major changes in your life, okay? I love you all. I've actually got to run. Let me see here. Someone says, after listening to you live, I hear Donald Lawrence song so different. There's a king in you. Don't get me started on that. I will start quoting some passages in a minute. One of the things we talk about in this training session is you recognizing that you are an heir of God, and what does that look like? So I absolutely love it. I love you all. It actually just started 3 minutes ago, so I should get off of this live. And if there's anyone already in the session waiting, please give me some grace. I'm going to close this live out now. For those of you who want to join me for about 20 or 30 minutes, we're going to walk through some pretty. I'm not going to lie to you. It's intense training, but it's good, and it's gonna make you walk away with your eyes open like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. So I'll see you all in just a minute. Someone says, how can I sign up? Just the link is in my bio. On any of these pages, if you go to my bio, oh, that's not true. Because the meeting's already started, that's true. You won't even be able to click on the link in my bio now because it just started. You're going to have to go directly to my site. So thank you for asking. Go directly to unlockinggreatness.com. And my team just put the link up there where you can just come right on into the meeting. So just go to unlockinggreatness.com. And that's Unlocking Greatness is 2 G's. You're going to have to literally Google it. Just go to unlockinggreatness.com. And when you go to my site, you'll see the link. And it's right there on my homepage. You don't even need to enter an email address to join at this point because it's going to be too late to do that. But let me give you a little heads up. If you come into the meeting, if you don't plan on turning on your camera, or at the very least turning on your microphone, you will be excluded from the meeting. Okay? Because we don't want robots into the meeting. We don't want weird people just sitting and watching, and we don't know who the stranger is in the room. We don't want all of that. So if you are not able to turn on your camera or your mic, there's no way you can even participate in the exercise that we're about to do. So I want to be very, very clear on that, okay? So if you come into it, be prepared to turn on your camera and your mic. We're not recording it or anything like that. There's nothing weird that goes on, but I just want to make sure we respect that everyone is coming there because they've made a decision. I'm ready to move forward. It's time that I stop walking around this same mountain, okay? So just want to give you all a heads up. So yes, thank you, baby. Yes, unlockinggreatness.com. You can go there now. The link should be on the page. I love you all. I just thank you. Let me just give thanks to God. God, I just thank you. I thank you for the lives you've already touched. I thank you. Please, God, help them and watch over them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, my team is telling me that the meeting started and I got to go. All right, I love you all. I'll see you all in just a minute. Bye-bye. Love you all. I've got to go. My website is Unlocking Greatness. Just go to unlockinggreatness.com and you can be able to join me in just a minute. I've got to go because my team just told me that people are in the meeting waiting. Okay, bye-bye. All righty, you guys got to go. Bye-bye.